So welcome to another episode of Left versus Right. I'm Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. Dominic, great to see you. Happy 4th of July belatedly to you and yours.
Same to you and your family.
So usually this week, before the conventions have started, usually it's kind of quiet. Not this week, huh? So where do you want to start? Maybe we'll start with what we think is going to happen next. What do you think is going to happen here?
You tell me.
Look, I've said consistently, you may turn out to be right. I've said consistently.
No, not may turn out to be right. That's why I'm asking you. You tell me first.
Oh, so you already know something?
I already. Go ahead.
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it.
The president has to get out of the race, but go ahead.
Right, but he has to, but it's ultimately only up to one person. There's no grand master plan. There's no group of people that can force him. It's up to him. Presumably he's getting advice from his family. Presumably he's getting advice, and he's listening to the reports in the papers and hearing what Americans are saying. Now, I don't know. I have always been of the assumption that, you know, look, he believes he's the guy that won once. He's the guy that he thinks has a pretty good record, and I agree with that. And remember something, Dominic, and I just said this on my program. There are Democrats, many, many Democrats, who would vote for a head of lettuce and don't really care so long as it's not Donald Trump. And I think that a lot of those people are out there still saying, Joe, stick it out.
But
what do you think?
That's not enough to win. The scenario you just described, that they would vote for a head of lettuce over Donald Trump. The fact of the matter is, Anthony, the president is in deep, deep trouble with his reelection. Can we acknowledge that
Yes.
much? Okay. And I don't see a scenario how he survives this. I don't see a scenario where Democrats can turn to Vice President Kamala Harris. That will make the matter worse. Even though she's polling better than Biden is, she's still losing to Trump by, as of right now, 2 percentage points. I don't see a scenario. Let me backtrack. This entire race, I have never seen a full campaign for this race. I know we're not in the fall now. I've never seen a true contest this time around between Biden and Trump. I've said consistently on this program, Trump is headed back to the White House. I mean it now more than ever. All of that court nonsense blew up in you guys' face. You made him a martyr. You made Trump a martyr. He's larger than life. And now, with all due respect, you like to sit up here week after week and call him a convicted felon. Well, the fact of the matter is the sentencing has been pushed back to September because of the Supreme Court, which you very well know.
Yeah, look, let's talk about it. You can't see the scenario. I've got a scenario, and the scenario is he stays in, and the overwhelming number of Americans who don't want a second term of Donald Trump, that's how this...
Come on, Anthony, come on, man.
You're asking for the scenario.
Come on, Anthony. If he stays in the race, it's almost like a wounded deer near the lake or near a lake of alligators. Come on. If he stays in the race, there is no scenario. Come on, man. It's time to stop your wishful synopsis thinking, whatever you
I'm giving you the different scenarios, and if you don't want me to, I don't have to. But
you can give me a scenario. Let me give in the race.
Yeah,
listen, let's be real, man, and then I'm going to shut up and give you your say.
That's okay.
Biden won the first time for one reason. They ran a campaign of consultants where Biden was in the basement. And Trump at the time, see the difference between me and you? I can be honest. You refused to. Trump was considered a polarizing figure at the time coming out of his presidency, and they kept Biden in the basement, and it became a referendum on Trump, and thus Biden won. He cannot beat Trump head-to-head in a fair race.
Okay. Well, he did it before, and last time was a fair race, and I've heard you talk about this before. I've even looked it up, that through the course of the campaign, with dozens and dozens of appearances on both sides, Donald Trump had more than Joe Biden by 8. That was the total difference. So that's the theory that he was in the basement just doesn't hold up factually. Look, I will tell you this. Joe Biden...
It does hold up, but go ahead.
No, I mean, if you want to fact check it, I can invite I invite all of our listeners to go fact check it. You can look it up yourself.
Because then you got to break it down to how you define an event.
That's fine. So one of the reasons that Joe Biden won is that he ran on the platform of competence over incompetence, and he ran against the guy, Donald Trump, who is to this day one of the most unpopular elected officials in American history. You've got to understand that about your guy.
Anthony, come on, Anthony. At what time are you going to wake up? You've seen the polling that Americans
did I say
Biden to continue this race.
And most Americans also don't want Donald Trump to continue the race.
Oh my!
Did you see that poll? Did you see almost the same number of people say they want neither one of them to as they said they want Joe Biden. Joe Biden is trailing by 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 points after that debate performance. What does that tell you? And the polls don't show that people are leaving Biden and going to Trump. They're leaving Biden and going to undecided. Donald Trump is an unpopular figure. So if you want to know how he survives, Joe Biden survives. This table would probably get 40% against Donald Trump. Okay? And that's because your guy's unpopular for a whole bunch of reasons, including being incompetent when we needed him most during COVID. He ran a horrible...
When do you stop?
And he's also a convicted felon.
Anthony? Oh, come on, Anthony. The judge, with the district attorney, they have pushed back the sentencing until September.
He hasn't been sentenced yet.
By
the way, so now, if he is sentenced, he will be standing for trial, since there won't be time for it to be overturned. He will be standing for election as a convicted felon. That's what the result of that being moved back is, you know.
Okay. But even if that's the case, you see, I find this amazing. Your candidate is imploding in real time in front of all of us, and you're still locked on Trump.
It's a choice.
Locked on Trump.
Our voters have a choice.
Can you talk about the news of what's going on with your candidate?
I'd be glad to, but I'm telling you
to hear it.
I'm telling you, what would you like? What news would you like to hear?
I'd like to assess what's going on with Democrats.
I already told you that it's up to him.
For 3 seconds, and then you immediately pivot to Trump.
Hey, Dominic, I want you to come to grips with this, because sometimes I listen to you and I don't think you understand this. This is a choice.
You want me to come to grips?
Yeah, let me finish my thought.
I'm in reality. You're in la-la land.
Okay, how many candidates are running for president?
Come on, man. It depends on the major candidates.
Yeah, it's Trump v. Biden right now.
Right.
As bad as Biden is doing, Donald Trump can't break 50%. What does that tell you? What do you learn from that? The entire country saw a guy who could not finish the sentence, and your guy doesn't even get any of his votes.
Okay.
People don't like 30% of people today say they'd rather have Nikki Haley in the Republican Party.
First of all, the debate was only, about a week and a half ago? By the way, you had a great show today, as you do always.
Thank you.
I wish you could bring the energy from what you just did a few minutes ago, and the knowledge from what you just did a few minutes ago.
Well, I was talking about my dog most of the time, but yes.
To this show, and that's right. Congratulations. Congratulations on your dog.
Billy.
Your dog, Billy, will be your new best friend. It's one of the best things you could ever do.
By the way, you know what the expression about politics, if you want a friend in politics, get a dog. I finally am fostering a dog. But the only point I'm making is that as you look at all of this
you're being delusional.
About which part of it? About
all of it.
Is Donald Trump a popular man in America?
Yes, he is. You are being absolutely
Who's delusional? Listen to what you just said.
You are being absolutely delusional.
Your guy has 36% approval rating. Okay, fine. I focus on my guy.
Okay,
Can we agree that both guys are unpopular?
I will never agree to that, because Trump is headed back to the White House, and he's beloved by a minimum of half of the country.
Oh, stop it. Oh, my God. You do not pay attention. He is beloved by about 30% of the country.
Focus on your guy. You won't focus on Biden.
I'm going to talk about the campaign as a contrast with two people.
Okay, but
I cannot talk about how bad Donald Trump has been without talking about Joe Biden's record and vice versa.
Okay, so you said a contrast between two people.
Yes.
You're only contrasting one, Trump. Where's the other?
I don't even. How do you contrast one person? Dominic, focus now.
You're only,
Dominic, focus.
No. Anthony.
Donald Trump is a candidate for president, right?
Here we go again.
What do you want me to say?
The news is Joe Biden, not Trump.
The news is the election. We wouldn't talk about either one of these guys if they weren't running for president. Am I right about that?
Okay, so wait a minute. So then why is the talk amongst Democrats of Kamala Harris replacing Biden?
Because Joe Biden is barely functioning right now.
The guy that you defended week in and week out on this program.
I would defend this table if he was running against Donald Trump.
Right. But
you don't understand.
Wrong.
This potted plant. This potted plant in our studio. That's not wrong. I have seen for years.
Anthony,
that's
wrong.
He led an insurrection against our country. He should be in prison.
What you're really saying is your hatred of Trump supersedes everything.
No, my love of my country.
Wrong.
Your guy led an insurrection. This is not a policy problem.
He did not.
He did.
What are you basing this on that he led an insurrection?
That he was indicted. He was indicted in a U.S. court.
That doesn't mean that he did it.
What part of the indictment? All right, let's have the debate about everything that happened in January 6th.
No. See,
let's do it, pal. No, you tell me that I'm
go again.
Only Patriotic Americans do not support insurrectionists.
First of all, it's being an absolute hypocrite to talk about patriotic America when what progressive district attorneys and mayors have done to destroy this country, and with crime going on the way that it
Dominic.
does
You don't
around
understand the Constitution, my man. You could have different. We could have different.
I've been right every single week.
We can have different views. You just said Donald Trump is popular, and you said that an insurrection doesn't mean that
you're going to quote me right. I said beloved. I didn't say popular.
Beloved.
I said beloved.
Yeah. Okay. Based on what poll? Show me a poll.
Mr. Weiner.
You love polls. Show me a single one that shows that he's even liked by more than 50% of the country, let alone beloved.
Mr. Weiner, can you listen? I don't mind.
Insurrection is inexcusable to me. You can be wrong. You can be Mitt Romney, be a terrible on every issue under the sun, but still love our country. Your guy refuses to concede an election, stops the transfer of power, and lies about our country to this day, and calls it a hellscape. If it's such a hellscape, then maybe you should go to prison where you belong. That's why I would support this table rather than Donald Trump. So when it comes to Joe Biden, yes, he's not the best candidate. America thinks both of them shouldn't run.
Wait. So what happened? You basically said week after week that Biden could walk on water.
Incorrect.
What happened?
Incorrect.
What happened?
I said he's been a great president.
Okay, so what happened? Listen,
he's still been a great president. His record, on Friday, 206,000 jobs in this month. Do you know that Joe Biden has created more jobs month over month than any president in American history?
I wish I could respond the way that it's needed to respond, but I can't use that language on the radio.
Because people working, you don't like that because it doesn't play in the narrative of your country. Because you're another person like your candidate that hates our country, says it's a hellhole.
First of all,
it's not a hellhole. I love my country.
First of all, if those numbers were truly accurate, I would be the first one.
He doesn't like the Anthony. Suddenly, you don't like the numbers. You don't like the numbers about the low crime. Maybe the stock market's invented too.
Okay, talk Biden, please.
No, I'm not done talking about our fake numbers. Tell me how you think they're fake.
Okay.
Is the stock market fake?
Yeah, okay.
Do we have to interview all 206,000 people who are now working because your guy finally got out of the way? The only president since Hoover that lost jobs? Your president was a disaster. Over 1 million more Americans are dead because of COVID because your guy talked about gargling bleach instead of doing the job. If your guy did the job, we wouldn't even have the issue. Well, this must be an easy week for you. You can't even muster it.
Anthony, as we sit here, we don't know who the Democratic nominee will be.
Correct.
And you're still full attack mode on Trump.
What do you want me to do?
And what I want you to do is stop being delusional.
When we have another candidate, I'll beat you around the face and ears with her too, or him. Anyone. This table can beat Donald Trump. Your guy. Can I ask you something? I want to ask you an honest question.
Okay, go ahead.
After that debate a week ago.
Okay.
Your guy is now up by 3 points. Wow. That debate, he should be up by 50 points. Why isn't he? Because he's not getting a single one of those undecided votes because they know he's a sleazebag convict.
Okay, so now can I respond?
You've been doing plenty of good job. You don't need permission from me, my man.
Can I respond?
This is half your show.
So why are Democratic governors at the White House just a few days ago, and most of them would not talk on camera? Because Biden's support, not with the country right now, within his own party.
Because
he's on life support.
I'll explain it. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
Your guy talks about grabbing women.
Here we go again. My guy. We're talking about Biden.
I'm making a contrast.
Okay, but can you stick to Biden?
It's a contrast.
Can you? Okay, but you refuse.
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there. Ready?
You want to do your Trump attack and then get to Biden.
Correct. That's how I do it.
Okay, go ahead.
So your guy says grab.
But you're delusional. You're delusional.
Your guy says grab women by the you-know-what, and your party...
come on. Are you still going there?
I got a list.
Are you still going there?
I'm not going anywhere unless you let me finish.
Okay, Anthony. You're
not going to let me answer?
Okay.
Are you going to let me, Dominic? You going to let me answer?
Anthony, the Access Hollywood tape, right? Are you really going to stand here?
What about January 6th?
Okay, wait. You played sports. I played sports.
What about January 6th?
You know damn well. He
wasn't in a locker room, pal. I've heard this line. He wasn't in a locker room.
You know damn well that is talk that men. I'm not saying it's right.
People do when he's talking to reporters on a campaign bus. No, I'm sorry, pal.
Okay, let me finish.
That's not what normal people do.
Let me finish. You damn well know that that's talk that athletes use.
Not presidents.
Maybe not to that structure.
Not presidents.
Okay, you're right. You're right about that.
Okay.
Now, see,
what about January 6th?
Notice that What did he do on January 6th?
He led an insurrection.
He did not.
Well, how come all of your Republican friends bailed it off? Stefanik said it was an outrage and he should be held accountable. What about McCarthy, who blamed him? What about McConnell, who blamed him? And what about you? All of these.
Wait, you quoting Kevin McCarthy?
Yes, all the Republican leadership at the time.
I like Kevin McCarthy.
The Republican leadership at the time.
Where is Kevin McCarthy right now?
The Republican leadership at the time.
Right now.
Well, where are these governors? Where are these governors going to be right now?
Focus on Joe Biden. I'm not going to let you get away from that.
In that case, let me finish the freaking answer.
But you want?
I'm making a contrast.
Biden, and all you keep doing is Trump.
I'm not done with my answer, Dominic. You have to be more patient.
Okay, go ahead.
Unlike the Republicans, who turn on this guy and then immediately run back with their tail between legs. Here's what Democrats do. Democrats have fidelity to our country. We love our country. Okay. So if we think that he's not up to the job, we're going to say it out loud. But one thing I can tell you we're also going to say out loud, even diminished, he's a better candidate and a better president than your guy was. Because your guy is also too old. And by the way, I want to point out the same number of people in the country that say Joe Biden is too old, say Donald Trump is too old.
So
wasn't that worth the wait?
If Trump is too old, why didn't he fold at the debate?
He's done worse. He's dribbling on himself, talking about electric airplanes running out of gas, talking about sharks, talking about forgetting the name of Nikki Haley, think it was Nancy Pelosi. He's been just as bad.
Anthony, you would have much more respect, even from the Democrats that are listening to you right now, if you just stopped with this
You asked me about Donald Trump, and I told you.
And told the truth. Come on,
Donald Trump is an incompetent, corrupt fool.
Come on.
There it is.
Okay.
I just told you the truth. And by the way, the American people agree with me. That's why he's getting none of these voters that are leaving Biden.
Okay. So you're stating these things about Trump. Notice it's not even getting a rise out of me because
first of all, if I judge your rise whether you interrupt me or not. If you interrupt me, you know I'm making traction, and you've interrupted about 400 times. You're breaking a new Dominic Carter record today.
No. I interrupt you because I can only take so much bullshit, to be honest with you, at a time. And you go on, and you just go on and on and on.
I answer your questions.
And no, you don't answer my questions. You give absolute bullshit.
Okay, all right. Don't keep saying that word because we have to keep bleeping it out.
Right. Well, but I do want the audience to understand that what you are saying for a third time now is absolute
How about your
bullshit.
How about your beloved? You want to talk about BS? How about beloved Donald Trump? You know, but Donald Trump has never in his life had a positive approval rating.
First of all, I don't know where you're getting these numbers from.
That's the fact. And even on his first day in office, he didn't have a positive approval rating.
Okay. And let's say for argument's sake that that's true. Let's say for
argument's sake. Are you just learning Donald Trump's an unpopular figure in American history? He's the least successful president, and he's an unpopular guy.
Let's say for argument's sake, you know what? We got to take a break. I'll give you a chance to regroup and hopefully redeem yourself when we come back.
I thought this was going to be a much tougher week. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. Come back after this break. So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. Dominic Carter, you can get all of his programs as a podcast, but I would tune in live. You never know what's going to happen. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, also at midnight.
Thank you.
And anywhere you can get it as a podcast, and this one as well. So let's jump ahead a little bit.
Okay.
Let's assume that Joe Biden says, I'm not going to run. I think the most likely candidate to emerge from that will be Kamala Harris. We briefly referenced it last week. We got a little ahead of the news ourselves. I think she beats him. I think she beats Donald Trump. Should I make the case, or you just want to just pounce?
I'm trying to figure out what do I do in this situation.
Why don't you let me make the case, and then you can rebut it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, Anthony. Are you really serious?
100% serious.
Yeah.
Okay, saying it over and over again isn't good radio, so let me make my case.
No. Wait, I want to make sure. No, you already said enough.
Okay.
I want to make sure. You have got to be joking me. You've got to be joking me. She made it to the ticket because she's a woman of color. There's absolutely very little substance there. And you're talking about, but you know what? You already said that you believe that this table could beat Trump.
Correct.
That you believe that plant could beat Trump.
Correct.
So maybe the vice president of the United States of America goes into that same category.
Well, maybe.
But guess what? Yeah. You're wrong. And it's ridiculous. And this is not even a debate that we should have. Are you serious?
You don't want to do it?
No, I guess we have to do it.
I'll make the case for Kamala Harris right now.
Go ahead. Let's hear this garbage.
So, first of all, she was a prosecutor, and she's younger.
Wow. She was a prosecutor. Wow. Wow. And Obama said, I believe her claim to fame.
I wasn't done. I just want to say that I wasn't done, but go ahead. Keep going.
Besides being Willie Brown's, quote-unquote, married Willie Brown's friend, besides that, being his friend for years and him appointing her to jobs, her claim to fame was Obama said, that's a good-looking woman. And thus she catapulted in elective positions. And you're telling me that this woman is qualified to be the president of the United States?
Well, you don't think she's qualified? She was elected as
Are you serious? Qualified? Qualified for what?
She was elected as district attorney.
What did he do?
Dominic, I need you to let me get a word in. You said
you need me to let you get a word in.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
No. Every week,
keep going.
You keep
going, Dominic.
Nonstop. Trump is the devil. Trump supporters are bubbas. Yeah. And you're telling me to let you get a word in. So go ahead.
No, keep going. No.
Okay. You want me to keep going? Mm-hmm. So, Mr. Weiner, week after week, you engage in these delusional ideas. I don't know if they're promising you an ambassadorship. I don't know what it is. But, Mr. Weiner, for this to work...
Am I in frame?
For this to work, Mr. Weiner, we both have to be honest. And all you do is sit up here and talk Democratic garbage week after week. Women that are raped and murdered by migrants. You make excuses for those migrants. And you say that Americans commit more crime. I could go on for the rest of the show, but I'll give you your say. You want to talk now, or are you still pouting?
No, I'm ready to go anytime you want to let me talk.
Go ahead.
Okay. So Kamala Harris was elected as a district attorney, running a tough on crime election in California, got elected. Then she ran for the United States Senate in California, which is not an easy thing. This whole idea she was given by Obama or given by Willie Brown, that didn't happen.
Wait, those things didn't happen with Willie Brown?
What was she
Obama
given?
Didn't say she was a good-looking woman?
What was she given? What job?
Did Obama say yes or no that she was a good-looking woman while he was the sitting president of the United States?
I have no idea.
Okay.
So now you're fine with it with someone saying grab a woman by her private parts, but you're now making...
Did I say I was fine with it?
I think you did.
No,
yeah.
I did
You basically
not say I was
excused
fine
it away,
with
so
it.
it's locker room talk.
I said you're an athlete. You stay in good shape, and I'm gonna let you. Unlike you, I'm gonna let you talk. You're an athlete.
I don't want to go back to this. Let me finish.
You just brought it up.
I know I brought it up. I'm going to bring up a lot of things. That doesn't mean you get to interrupt me.
All right. So you want to bring it up, and I don't get to respond to it.
You totally do. It's just an order. Just wait till I'm done, and then you get a chance to speak.
Okay.
Wait, go.
No. You're pouting right now.
I'm not pouting. I'm just waiting.
You're pouting.
I'm waiting.
So you want to attack Trump
polite
on Access Hollywood? You're being polite. What, this week is different? You want to attack Trump on Access Hollywood, and you don't want me to tape, and you don't want me to point out that that probably 9 out of 10 men engaged that were athletes engage in that same type of talk. You know that on the line of scrimmage in football, we'll make comments about the other player's mother, about his sister. We were with your sister last night. You know these things happen in organized sports. And now you're going to sit up here, and I know it happens in hockey, which you play, and you're going to deny and act like Trump is the only one to ever say things like that? Go ahead. Don't look at your phone, Mr. Weiner. Go ahead and make your garbage point. Go ahead.
Okay, so we were talking about Kamala Harris, I think you remember. And by the way,
yes,
saying Donald Trump said that because he was in the locker room, that tub of goo hasn't been in the locker room his entire life. So Kamala Harris was elected to the United States Senate. No one gave her any job. And I have to tell you something. Here's what she's going to be able to do that Joe Biden hasn't been able to do. When Donald Trump lies 400 times in a debate, she's going to call him on it. When she is going to be able to prosecute this argument that Donald Trump is old and firmed and makes a lot of gaffes. She's a younger person. She's better with African Americans. She's better with young people. And right now, for the first time, with all the problems that Joe Biden is having, she's polling only 2 points behind Donald Trump, and her positives are much higher than Donald Trump. People actually seem to like her. So if you think that she's such a great candidate, the one thing I would point out to you, there's a reason why your team is already preemptively going at her with as they are, I think she would do a very good job. Look, the bottom line is Joe Biden has made the following case. He says that I showed that I can beat Donald Trump. When I ran in 2020, I was nominated. Even though people said I was too old then, I said, yes, but I'm the centrist. I can beat him. Now what we're learning, as we see Kamala do better in the polls, that really any Democrat has about the same chance as Joe Biden. So if Joe Biden is swapped out, Kamala Harris is swapped in, I think she'll do fine.
So obviously in a debate situation, Trump would have to be careful, considering she's a female candidate. But when he says your claim to fame is that you were Willie Brown's mistress, reportedly, what is she going to say?
She's probably going to say, Donald Trump, of all the people that I would debate who should be talking about infidelity, the person who slept with a porn star when his wife was pregnant is probably not the one. If he wants to call attention to that, more power to him. Even Donald Trump, as dumb as he is, would not do that.
Wait a minute.
You think he would call attention to infidelity? Oh, my God.
First of all.
That's nuts. You're smarter than that.
First of all, Mr. Weiner, you're again making the assumption that he slept with Stormy Daniels.
I'm just saying that's what the American people believe it. And he was accused of that in court. Let them have that debate. If that's where the debate comes down, I pray for that. That means the Democrat is doing just fine.
So notice you responded to Trump on the question. You didn't respond.
I just see the whole rundown about Kamala Harris.
No. You didn't respond to her claim to fame being Willie Brown's mistress.
I never even heard that.
Oh, you never heard that?
No. I mean, you can tell us what the rumor is that you've heard. You're up to Fanny and that kind of stuff also. If infidelity is the issue in this campaign, oh, God, please, I pray for that. I pray for that. I pray that becomes the issue in this campaign. Because that's a good day for Democrats, we're focusing on the thing that led this guy to be a convict 34 times over.
I tell you what, you could say that to you blue in the face. It's not going to make it true. The man is not a convict. The man was before.
I am not a crook.
The man was before kangaroo court.
I am not a crook.
And pretty soon it's going to be worked out.
If your candidate is saying I am not a crook, and by the way, he's running against someone who put crooks in prison for a living. She was a prosecutor. Okay. And by the way, in case you forget about this, she was a prosecutor who ran against the lefty prosecutor in San Francisco, saying that he's not getting enough convictions, and I'm going to have more. When she ran statewide, it was on a dramatic increase in the number of bad guys that she put away. She's your kind of Democrat.
She was elected because Obama said she's a good-looking woman.
I don't even.
That's
what
why,
is that
that's
even?
Why
in California, they don't give away races because someone says you're good-looking.
That's why she was elected. But
California is arguably the toughest place to get elected statewide in the entire country.
Okay, but let me be clear. You focus this plant and this table that you said could beat Trump.
And Kamala Harris can beat him. Whoever else, Shapiro, whoever else. I can make the argument for any number of them.
If you think, Anthony Weiner, that Kamala Harris is even going to be in the ballpark of Donald Trump, then this tree and this table could get up and walk to the back of the room.
Listen, you love the polling, and the polling shows it.
Anthony, the polling shows that she's 2 points behind.
And she's the vice president. By the way, what happened to Donald Trump's vice president last time? What happened to him?
What do you mean what happened to Mike Pence?
I understand. He's not supporting the president?
So what?
Wait a minute. What about 14 of his cabinet officials? They're not supporting him? Maybe the people that know him best should be telling us something.
Listen.
Where is Mike Pence?
You know damn well, just like I know. Yeah. Right? We have the stories.
Has that ever happened before that a vice president didn't support his boss for re-election?
Okay.
I don't think so.
You know, just American like I know, most presidents and vice presidents, truth be told, don't really get along with each other. And frankly, don't really like each other.
Has this ever happened before?
In terms of
a vice president not supporting his boss for re-election, ever.
Why is that relevant?
It's relevant because he knows him well.
No.
What about the 14 cabinet officials who aren't supporting him? They know him very well. They say he should not get the keys back to the office. We've seen him up close in person.
Okay.
Doesn't that tell you something? What does that tell you? That there's something wrong with them or something wrong with Trump? What does that tell you?
I don't see anything wrong with Trump. I see Trump.
No. I'm saying the 14 cabinet officials.
Okay.
I'm asking you a direct question.
I don't know if they have axes to grind. I don't know.
14 cabinet officials says he should not give that guy the keys back.
So what?
They know him best.
What about the Democrats that say Biden needs to jump out right now?
Do you agree or disagree?
What do you feel?
I would love.
Answer the question, Mr. Weiner.
How do I do it without saying the word I? It's a pronoun that we use to describe myself.
No, because you're about to go on with the talk as you always do without answering the question.
I believe both of these candidates should not run. They're both too old.
No, I didn't ask you.
But that's who we got.
I didn't ask you about both.
Oh, my God. I love the back.
Can you ever answer a question?
You're saying, what do I want? I always want the backup quarterback to be in the game because I always think the quarterback is doing a lousy job. I always want the backup quarterback.
Okay, so could you answer the question?
I am.
Should Biden stay in the race? It's real simple.
Should he? No. Should he? Look at it. Should. What does should have to do with it?
And why shouldn't he?
Because anyone else could win the race probably as easy as he could. Probably. It's hard to say.
Wait, you just said as easy as he could. So if that's the case, why get out?
That's the point. Exactly the point I made ever since I sat down here. In, out doesn't make any difference to me. I'm going to vote for him. I'm going to vote for a head of lettuce. I'm going to vote for this table. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. Whoever keeps Donald Trump and his insurrectionists out of power. That's all I care about. That's why he's doing, all kidding aside, Dominic, after that debate, that there's still basically half the country that says, yeah, Biden seems fine with me. He's only trailing by 3 points nationally. Holy mackerel. What more does your guy need? What more does your guy need? Because people don't trust him either. They're both too old. No. Is this the first? I went back and I looked. July of 2022. You know what that was? That was when I did my first show saying neither one of these two guys should run. They're both too old. The American people have known these guys are both too old.
Notice how I let you speak.
Thank you. And that's the way you're supposed to do it to make good radio. It's left versus right.
And with all due respect, you're saying absolutely nothing. Polling shows that Trump is in a wonderful position to go back to the White House. And even though Democrats put him before a kangaroo court, tried to hang him up in Georgia, tried to hang him up federally, he's still doing well and still winning. You're not focusing on 50? That point. You're not focusing.
Is he over 50% in any poll?
Okay.
No. When he's still at 45, 46, 47. That's not a great position.
Okay, Trump is not the incumbent. It's the incumbent that's normally...
He's basically an incumbent.
No.
You're basically the incumbent.
Since you went there, I was trying to be nice.
You've been trying to be nice? Yeah, you've been a jackass the whole show.
Yeah, I've been trying to be nice, right? You can call me whatever you want, but sooner or later, you're going to have to be honest. Because week after week, you come in here with these false arguments.
What did I say?
Everything out of your mouth is not true.
He's getting 46, 47%. He's winning by 3 points against a guy who couldn't put a sentence together.
Here's what I didn't want to call you out on. I was trying to be nice. You've got the nerve. Okay, 50% threshold is what you judge an incumbent by.
He's an incumbent.
Excuse me.
He's virtually an incumbent.
Excuse me.
He's known by everybody.
Excuse me. See, you know what I'm about to say, and you're embarrassed.
Nah, I'm just saying.
You've got the nerve.
You got two incumbents in this race.
You've got the nerve to talk about Trump and 50%.
You said he was in a wonderful position. Do you want to rephrase?
Excuse me. Is Biden at 50%?
No.
Anyway? So then how dare you? How dare you
I didn't say Biden was in a wonderful position.
You said... How dare you sit up
one
here
more
for
time.
the last
Is
20
Trump
minutes?
in a wonderful position, Dominic?
And for the last 20 minutes, I tried my best.
Is Trump in a wonderful position? You want to take that back? Can we edit that? Can we edit that out?
I tried my best not to call it out.
AI, search replace wonderful and replace adequate.
I tried my best not to call it out. For 20 minutes, you've been sitting up here attacking Trump as an incumbent that's not hitting 50% when Trump is not the incumbent. When the actual incumbent is what, in the 30s?
No, it's not in the 30s. This is about a 47-45 race right now.
No. I didn't say popularity. I said...
No, 47-45. Neither one of us at 50.
Okay, but there's only one incumbent.
And my guy has been hemorrhaging.
There's only one incumbent.
That's not really true. This is a two-incumbent race.
Okay.
Come on, face the facts.
Okay.
The guy's known by 100% of the market, and he has a record.
We got to take a break.
We had 100%. He's known by everyone. He has a record in office. That means he's an incumbent.
Man, you're giving me a headache.
By the way, Donald Trump's in a wonderful polling position.
You're giving me, of course he is.
Wonderful.
You're actually giving me a headache. Can we take a break and maybe I can get some aspirin during the break?
Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. We'll be right back. So welcome back to Left versus Right. Anthony Weiner on your left, Dominic Carter on the right. He got some aspirin. You didn't give me any aspirin anyway. We're doing fine. The thing that concerns me about this week is that there's a lot we don't know. There's a
lot we do know.
No, we don't. I mean, what the race is going to be in like 2 weeks.
Oh, we do.
Okay,
we do.
Well, all right,
we do. We do know what the race is going to be like in 2 weeks.
No, I mean who?
Oh, I can tell you who.
Oh, who?
It's not going to be Biden, but it's going to be Trump, and Trump is going to go on to win the election.
I know, but who's the other person?
And it doesn't matter.
All right, that's what I meant. We don't know that.
Does it matter?
Yes.
Does it matter?
Of course. If
who's going to be? Pretty boy Gavin Newsom?
If you're running against...
a pretty boy. Look at me. Look at how I ruined California. Oh, Kamala. Where's Willie Brown when you need him? Where's Willie Brown?
Can you explain for me and for the listeners why you keep talking about a former state assemblyman from California? Just go and explain, because I really don't know the story.
Okay, so it's an easy story to understand. Willie Brown arguably is the most...
He was the Speaker of the Assembly in California. A power broker guy.
Yes, he's arguably the most powerful politician to come. Thank you for that. To come out of California, and you know, he was married at the time, and allegedly he decides to play. And Kamala
he had an affair with Kamala Harris. Is that a fact or just something that's talked about?
Allegedly. And
was Kamala Harris married at the time?
She was not married at the time.
All right. So but you think that's going to be a huge issue in the campaign? Why do you keep mentioning it?
She got it because she got away with it the first time.
Well, did it come out when she ran in 2020?
Of course it came out, but you know, it was like, okay, we're going to anoint Biden president.
No, she was a big deal. Look, I mean, let's do a little bit of history about Kamala Harris. When she got in, she looked like she was going to do very well. She had a real kind of Obama vibe to her. She moved to the top of the polls in the primary.
Oh, really?
Just let me try to get a little bit, just because our listeners don't all know every history.
Right, but let's be honest.
That's what happened. She moved to the top of the polls in 2020. Tell me, if I say anything that's not true, you can definitely put in something in, but up to now, I haven't even said anything. She moved to the top of the, and then kind of went flat. 2020 was
she kind of went flat.
Please let me finish. All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, it's just all I'm saying, Anthony, is you have to be honest. She kind of went flat. How about a total disaster for the country? How about the southern border? How good does she do there, Anthony? Go ahead. You got the floor. But you like to give these, what should I call them, rose-colored descriptions of Democrats, but you want to call Trump everything but a child of God, but rose-colored descriptions for your fellow Democrats. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
So she was doing pretty well, and then the summer of Floyd begins, and suddenly being a hard-on-crime prosecutor candidate was not a great thing to be anymore, and she completely kind of lost her bearings what kind of a candidate she was going to be. She was passed in the polls by Buttigieg and by the woman from Minnesota, and she became kind of an afterthought. As a matter of fact, in the 2020 primary debates, her one moment was when she took on Joe Biden because of Joe Biden's support for busing back in the days in the 1970s, I want to say. So she never really had, she never did very. Okay.
See, this is what I mean about rose-colored glasses. She took on Biden, but you're not pointing out what she said about Biden.
I thought it was about his support for busing in Delaware in the 1970s.
And what did she call him?
I don't remember.
She said he was a racist.
She was a racist.
Supported racist policies. And her exact
words were... she criticized him for busing.
Her exact words were, I was one of those children.
So I was right.
Right, but you're doing it with rose-colored
I'm not trying
glasses.
to give every last little fact. You
of
can
course
put in...
not. You don't have a problem giving every fact with Trump. When it comes to Trump.
Okay, go ahead. Why don't you...
you're going to step away from the table for the 8th time now today?
Yeah, I mean, because I'm doing my very best to try to set up for people assuming that they don't know what happened with her.
But set it up in a fair way.
I said she criticized Joe Biden for position on busing in the 1970s,
right,
and you think I left something out.
But you didn't mention race.
I don't believe she called him a racist.
She said racist policies, and she said I was one of those
She criticized him for busing. If she said racist policies, and I didn't...
So you can stand here and call Trump dumb and everything under the sun, but you can't tell the truth when it comes to Democrats and busing and Biden and his past. Come back to the table. We're both adults. We have to finish the show. Come back to the table.
Go ahead.
Finish. You go. I'll just sit here and listen to your nonsense.
Right. So, I'm just setting up the background for Kamala Harris. So then Kamala Harris does not lose because of Willie Brown or anything else. She lost because she was a tough-on-crime Democrat in a primary cycle that was very critical because of what happened with George Floyd. It was a bad time to be her. Now, we're in a much different time. Now being a tough-on-crime Democrat sounds like a pretty good biography to have. And the most important thing she is going to be doing on that stage, as I pointed out earlier, is if all the things that Joe Biden did wrong in that horrible debate is that he didn't fact-check all the many, many lies that Donald Trump told. She is going to. She is going to prosecute the heck out of your guy.
Here we go.
So there you go. See, you didn't need to interrupt me so many times because that's what I was getting to.
Well, but
just go. I don't want to hear commentary. I don't want to hear any more commentary on me. Just focus on the issues, please.
Okay, Mr. Weiner, it's my mouth, and I can say whatever I want out of my mouth.
But you're like a broken record.
No, I'm a broken record.
Right, it's all ad hominem about me. Don't make it about me. Make it about the candidate.
I'm not making it about you.
Thank you, pal.
What I am saying is week after week, you come in here with
That's
this
ad hominem.
nonsense.
What you're doing is criticizing me. Can you focus on the issues? You have anything to say about Kamala Harris? Anything to say about Donald Trump? Anything to say about America? I know you guys hate America, but you have anything to say about America?
I cannot believe that Democrats say that people like me hate America.
And well, if you support an insurrectionist, what does that make you?
Okay, what evidence or what? The last time I checked, he said, "I'll join you at the Capitol."
No, he said we're going to march on the Capitol.
He said we're going to march to the Capitol.
And by the way,
he said we're going to march to the Capitol.
Yes, and we're going to stop them. And we're going to stop them. We're going to fight like hell and stop them.
Okay.
And why did he want the metal detectors taken down? Because all those people with weapons who beat up cops.
Okay.
You support cops? Dominic, do you support cops?
What about Pelosi's role?
What was her role?
In which she admitted that she made a mistake by not calling for the National Guard?
She has no authority over the National Guard. She's not the commander-in-chief. That's bull. That's bull. It's been proven 1,000 times. Who has control over the National Guard? Why did he want weapons being brought in? They were beating up cops, Dominic. You're against that.
Here we go. Here we go with the nonsense.
Dominic, where are you on beating up cops?
Trump, you know where I am on that
Say
issue.
it to the camera.
Trump had. Why would he want to pardon someone who beat up cops? Well, since you want to bring up the issue of pardoning, because people should not sit in jail for years without trial, and they haven't been convicted of anything.
No, they have been convicted.
Okay, but
hundreds of people have been convicted. You don't need to get pardoned if you haven't.
And what about the others? What about the others?
No one's what? What about the others?
Okay, and they should still sit in prison for years. Now,
wait a minute. You mean people being held without bail?
Listen, wait
a minute. You surely are not sitting here to say that people should not be held on bail.
No.
You're not going to do that. You're not going to flip like that on me and suddenly say you're against bail.
What I'm saying to you is people that climb through the window of Congress, yes, sat at Pelosi's desk. They're
getting pardoned by your guy. How do you feel about that?
Excuse me, let me finish. There are major consequences for that.
Not if you support Donald Trump. You support having him pardoned. He calls them political prisoners. What do you call them? You call them people that beat up cops. They're scumbags.
No, I do call.
The January 6th are not.
Okay,
they're not.
You asked me a question.
They're not freedom fighters. They're scumbags.
You asked me a question and then I didn't.
Yeah, tell the truth, Dominic. Start to tell the truth for a change.
Okay. Well,
tell the truth for a change.
Will you permit me to say something?
Oh, what? Now you want to be permitted? Yeah. Well, call them scumbags and I'll let you talk. Now you know what this is like, Dominic. This isn't good radio. When you do this, when you pester someone over and over again, when are you going to tell the truth? When are you going to tell the truth about the January 6th insurrectionists? That they're scumbags and your president wants to release them and pardon them, calls them heroes, plays audios over them instead of the national anthem at his rallies. Okay. That's your guy. Okay. So that's the guy you're proud to support.
So now, if I could say something in between you catching a breath.
See? That's no fun. That's why I keep trying to tell you guys. This is why you should not have a debate like this.
A good number of them are political prisoners. I'm sorry to tell you, Mr. Weiner.
Let me ask you. Game it out for me.
Okay,
which ones?
I get it. You'd rather talk about anything rather than Joe Biden.
Yeah, your guy hates our country and is insurrectionist. That's why this table should get elected over him.
Oh, but that's okay.
You can't let an insurrectionist back in. We've learned our lesson. The 14th Amendment tells us he's an insurrectionist.
So then why is he leading in the polls?
By how many points?
Why is he leading in the polls?
Because Joe Biden is not doing a great job, and because there's a lot.
Yeah. So now you want to flip the script. You sat up here week after week.
No. I said I believe the polls 4 weeks ago. I said I believe the polls.
Biden. Now,
but your guy's unpopular. He's unpopular. He's more popular than the guy than Joe Biden, but he's unpopular. Do you recognize that? You said before. I mean, I'm sure you can edit it out.
You know what,
I
Anthony,
shouldn't make any reference to it because then he can't edit it. You said he's in a wonderful position. He's beloved by the American people. You are high on your stash.
Okay, so now, I've known you for about 30 years.
Yes.
I know you.
And you haven't aged a day, by the way.
And I know
you had a giant afro when I first came.
And I know you to be a good person.
Thank you, pal.
But you sit up here, right? Once you put that Democratic cap on and you just go with it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter what the truth is.
That's not true.
Yeah, yes, it is.
I try to tell you, but we do opinions around here. You keep saying lie, 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 lie. We do opinions. Like when you say, I know Donald Trump is going to get elected, that's an opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. It's a fact.
No, God. No, God. No, God.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You finally got a good one. It took you, what, 10 weeks, but you got a good one.
Anyway, we do opinions around here. So when you say I lie, you disagree with me.
Okay, no.
We've got series of calling people liars in this country.
No, but you do lie. When you refer to Trump supporters at his South Bronx rally, remember that, Mr. Weiner?
Yeah.
When you referred to them as Bubba.
I forgot. He held a rally in North Carolina, Joe Biden, and got thousands and thousands of people. I kept saying when he does rallies, he's going to get good crowds. Busted.
Okay, do you really want me to respond?
That rally was okay. Actually, that was, thank you. That was, yeah.
So Mr. Weiner.
That was thousands of people and enthusiastic African-Americans. He went to an African-American rally and had African-Americans, unlike your guy.
Mr. Weiner. That rally, the next day after the debate in North Carolina.
He had a long night's sleep.
People showed up to see, unfortunately, the funeral or the train wreck.
Who do you think shows up at Donald Trump rallies? It is entirely about rubbernecking that guy.
What about true Trump
supporters?
Can
I ask you a question? Would you rather be electrocuted or eaten by a shark? I'm asking because the president keeps bringing it up. What's wrong with him? Have you heard the president's riff on being electrocuted or getting eaten by a shark? And he says, what if it's raining on your solar plane? What the hell? Your guy, is he okay?
Okay. So
is Donald Trump okay?
First of all, you really shouldn't.
Let's get them both out. Dominic, handshake now, get them both out of the race.
No.
Get your vice president guy in, Donald
No.
Oh, Joe Pence.
You could say whatever you want to say. When I go to get gas and I'm spending a ton of money, or when I go to the supermarket and I buy one steak for $100.
Inflation is way down. By the way, 206,000 new jobs this month. Once again.
You said that earlier.
Oh, I wasn't aware that you were paying attention.
So do you think anybody...
Am I lying about... Oh, no, that's right. You said you didn't believe the numbers.
Do you think anybody listening to us believes that?
What are you talking about? The Bureau of Labor Statistics is cooking the numbers?
No, that's not what I asked you.
It's the same guys that did it for
asked you.
Oh, so maybe the economy was great under Trump. Maybe he didn't lose all those jobs.
It was much better under Trump until COVID hit than it was under Biden.
He's the only president since Herbert Hoover to lose jobs.
Right. But
by the way, do you know the trade deficit went up? All this tough talk on China. Trade deficit went up under Trump. His own. Wait a minute. This time, his own guy, his own Bureau of Labor Statistics report and Council of Economic Advisors. It was their own guy that reported the numbers.
You could say all of this, but it's your guy, the president of the United States, that may not make it another few days in this campaign.
Do you believe that?
So can you answer that? Does Biden make it? Does he make it?
I don't know. I'm back to the beginning. I think that he hangs in there. I don't know. Maybe he does finally say he's a patriot, I believe. I believe he loves our country. I believe he knows how dangerous Donald Trump is. The problem is Donald Trump's been very smart about trying to goad him.
This is amazing. I asked you about Biden.
You're asking me I understand. I'm trying to I like the fact that he's kind of taunting him to stay in. I don't know. I can't tell. I still think it's probably 75% that it's Joe Biden.
And based on what's happened.
Yeah.
You know, because Trump is already challenging him to another debate with no moderator.
Here's the thing. I don't think there's going to be I don't think there's going to be a second debate. But here's the thing I will say though. Yeah, just hold your horses.
Okay, I'll hold my
Access Hollywood, January 6th. Donald Trump's polls went into the toilet and came back. We are a very partisan, divided country, and 90% of us are already in a camp. If Howdy Doody was nominated by the Republicans tomorrow, he'd have 45% of the vote. If this table were nominated, he'd get 45% of the vote. So how the 10% in the middle do, I think they're going to like Kamala Harris more than they're going to like Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. And Vinny,
unfortunately, no, we're going to do an extra hour this week. We've had so much news. Vinny Medunio, you're going to have to wait.
Vinny's
anyway,
waiting with the music.
if you miss any of this program, or if you want to watch it on YouTube and watch me slide away from the microphone and check my watch while Dominic yells at me.
Yeah, please don't do that again.
Oh, no.
You pouted and went away from the table 8 or 9 times.
I have promised my listeners on my show I was going to let you finish whatever you had to say. That takes a while sometimes. Anthony Weiner on the left, Dominic Carter on the right. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned for Vinny Medunio.